Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Heather Colleen. If this is your first time watching, I talk about emotional, mental, and physical health. There's a lot to speak about when it comes to those three. There's a lot that go hand in hand with each one, and I have dealt with a lot of that in my life, and I'm here to support and to talk about my journey with everyone. I believe self-awareness is really being in touch with yourself, listening to your intuition. We all have intuition, not just women, but also men. So I really, truly feel that self-awareness is really just being really in touch with who you are, really knowing your boundaries and really sticking with your boundaries. When it comes to self-awareness, let's say, you're on a date, and you feel like something's uncomfortable. You feel like something isn't right. And that is your intuition. That is your self-awareness coming, like, maybe it's a red flag. Self-awareness has a lot to do with also setting boundaries because it's what you feel. It's your intuition telling you, like, this is too much, you're crossing the line, or this is how I feel, this is how I deal with things in my life, and these are my boundaries, so please respect them. If you are anything like I was really easily manipulated. However, I was not in touch with myself, and I wasn't, I never had boundaries. I just never set boundaries with people. And now I do. And not exerting all your time and energy to people and to things that don't bring you a passion, don't bring you peace, don't bring you fulfillment in life, I've dated people when I was divorced, and I always had these like intuitions and this self-awareness, like, this isn't right. Like, I shouldn't be feeling like this. And I never listened to it. That's what kind of woke me up to this whole self-awareness and knowing my self-worth, and then knowing like this isn't right. Knowing, you can't really look into your future, but understanding that you're much better off by yourself, with yourself, than going on to something else that could just be really destructive to you and to your family. So again, I just think self-awareness really, it comes from intuition, just really feeling, what does your gut say? It's cute. My girls and I went out and had sushi, and my daughter got a fortune that said, your best choice is your first choice. So she was like, oh, what does that really mean? And I'm like, it's your intuition. It's like, usually they say, if you see a really cute sweater, or something isn't right, and you think like, is this right? Is this wrong? Do I like this sweater? Do I not? It's your very first intuition. It's your very first thing that you think. That's the only option. But then we always second guess ourselves. We're like, oh, I don't know. The second guessing is just, I've done it so many times and I don't recommend it. Don't second guess yourself. So just, listen to your intuition, listen to yourself, and really, don't shove that feeling down, don't second guess yourself. And, you're not alone. You are not alone. Like, also there's times like where, I've been cheated on, and I'm like, listening, my intuition knew something wasn't right, and I could feel it before it happened. That's the thing. I could tell before things would happen. That's how strong my intuition and my gut feels. I could tell when things happen before it was even happening. And I just really shoved it aside. So I am on such a different level now, where it's like, I feel something, or, someone's like, hey, let's go out. I'm like, you know what? My body and my mind is saying to stay home tonight because I need to take care of myself tonight. It's really just getting in touch with yourself and listening to your body and not overexerting, you know, this anxiety of, well, should I not, just being in touch with yourself, in touch with your intuition. It could really eliminate some anxiety behaviors. Trust me, I went through a lot of anxiety as well. But I was really not in touch with myself. I was in touch with my intuition. I was in touch with, just really listening to what my gut was saying. And I ignored it a lot. And, but it's okay because here I am and I'm able to share this with everybody. So maybe, sit down and write out like things that you love about yourself. Start with that. Write out what you love about yourself. Things that you don't want to allow in your life. Do you not want negativity? Do you not want fearful things in your life? What is it that you want to have boundaries for? For me, like I'm just going to, for instance, I had somebody who always talked about the news. Okay, I don't watch the news, and if you do, good for you, wonderful. I just don't watch the news. I also feel like I go to bed at night so peaceful because I don't hear about the news and it's not running through my brain all the time. I go to bed at peace, I go to bed happy and just excited to wake up in the morning already because I know I'm going to have a wonderful morning with my morning routine. So I set boundaries like, it's just, I was like, I don't want to hear about that kind of stuff. It's just, it affects me emotionally and it does physically and mentally because I think about it. I like to set boundaries like that. Like, I don't want to hear about this kind of stuff. I only want positive and healthy things to come into my life. I feel like if something is urgent in the world that I need to know, I'm going to hear it through my phone. I'm going to hear it on Facebook. Something's going to happen to where I will, I'll receive the message some way, somehow. Feel like we all have certain boundaries that we want to set with people. I'm sure like when people come into your home, you're married, you have a family, people come over, you have boundaries, like, what you will not tolerate in your life and what you want people to respect you for. Your time, your energy. Just set your boundaries with people and set them early. Don't set them later because I've set my boundaries a little bit later. And it really, it threw me for a loop and it wasn't a healthy thing. Something that I set way too later and I should have just set it much sooner and just kept it. But again, I'm just I don't like confrontation and I'm a really nice person, I have to say. I want to help people and I always want to listen to people and I just want happiness. Like I just want a big happy family. And so sometimes I get myself in situations where, I'm too nice and I just let things kind of roll on and go on. And then it's like, okay, yep, now I'm not liking this. And then it just builds up. So that's something that I personally myself had to work on. And now I feel like, okay, now here's my voice and I'm going to say how I feel, when I feel. I try to say it in a very polite way and then just move on from it, because that's all we can really do. So, but I just really want to point out that, sometimes setting boundaries can be hard. So if you need any advice or, you want to ask me a question, please feel free to send me an email, to a message on Instagram. I will link everything down below. But I hope that you enjoyed my Wednesday on self-awareness. But yeah, try to set boundaries for yourself and sit there with yourself and think, when certain situations in your life, really go over them and things that make you feel uncomfortable, things that you don't feel right with, and, you know, set boundaries with them. And don't feel bad. We always feel bad, but this is our life. This is who we are. Don't feel bad for setting boundaries with people, you know, especially when it comes to you. You know, this is self-love. You know, be honest with the person, and explain to them why you have these boundaries. And hopefully if they respect you enough, they're going to listen and they're going to honor your space. They're going to honor your boundaries. And just remember that if they do not, they won't. It's a total lack of respect then, and it's a total stepping over your boundaries, because they're like, I'm not listening to you. So just remember, you're gonna have to sometimes lose people in your life when you have these boundaries that you set, and be okay with it. Like I said, I would write everything down, because you really want to make sure you're going to stick with these boundaries, because you have to stick with them, because you don't want people to walk over you and what you're asking, the respect that you're asking for. That this helped. And if you have any questions or anything, again, just please feel free to send me a message, and I will be so happy to answer them. Okay, I will see you guys on Sunday, and I hope that everybody has a beautiful Wednesday.